Yo, what up guys? Jersey-O here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of my weekly discussions where we just sit back, relax, talk future content, wishlist ideas, etc, etc. Now before we get into the juicy stuff, just a heads up, y'all think I'm gonna keep this channel all things State of Decay related. I know that's what you folks come here for, so there's no need to go against the grain. However, there's a ton of games dropping this year, and if you do want to see a wide variety of content from me, be sure to go subscribe to my second channel, Jersey-O Gaming, which I'll have linked in the description. Shameless plug, don't judge me. Let's hop right into it. So in my last upload, I told you guys to leave me some questions or just things you wanted me to talk about in this episode of our weekly discussion. A lot of good feedback received and I do appreciate that. I'll try to answer a few questions, spend a little time talking about them, and just go from there. Now for the first question, do you think State of Decay 2 or possibly even State of Decay 3 will contain a city map similar to State of Decay 1's Danforth city map from the Lifeline DLC? As far as seeing a city map being added to the map rotation for this game, that is very unlikely. The developers already explained why that would be hard to pull off at the moment. However, this idea is actually top 3 on the wishlist page. Now, do I think there's been discussion behind the scenes about adding a city map in SOD 3? Definitely. As much as I would love to see that in the current game, I just don't think it'll happen. And while we're on this whole map discussion, is this something you folks want in the next game where you have your Meager Valley, you have your Cascade Hills, you have all these different regions you can move to, or would you rather just have one huge map that includes everything? Answer this for me below. Moving on to the next question, if you got to choose, which thing from the wish list would be first? That's a good question, and this is subjective. What I'm about to say you guys may not agree with, but honestly, it wouldn't be a new map. I said the same thing right before we got Providence Ridge. Yes, that is a beautiful map. We all know Undead Labs did a great job on it, but like a month later, folks were already asking for Trumbull Valley to be added to the map rotation. And a few of the developers confirmed that it takes like 7 to 8 months to make a new map. Honestly, I would rather them spend that time working on new and improved missions, adding more character models, skill sets, maybe some more Enclave interactions while in the open world, you know, stuff like that. But if I had to choose one thing from the wish list to be in the next update, I would choose this guy idea from a year ago, which allows us to rebuild, fortify, and upgrade our base. I'll have this idea linked in the description just in case you want to take a deeper look at it, but he's pretty much saying a lot of the home bases have more than enough room for upgrading, and with all the material we end up gathering over time, why can't we fix the hole in the wall, or you know, add barbed wire, or even so much as send a survivor to watch the back door, for example. And I would take it a step further and allow us to upgrade outposts and have some of our survivors to watch over them. But my point is, yeah, we all know we want a new map, but how far will a new map get us in terms of longevity? Moving on, what are you expecting in State of Decay 3? What are you wanting and or scared will be in State of Decay 3? Well, for starters, I want it to have a ton of replayability. Even if they do decide to take a more story-driven approach, I want it to have a wide variety of things to do. From a ton of side quests to complete, to hunting animals for food, the ability to upgrade and fortify your home base, even so much as being able to pause the main story to go out there and get immersed in the world. RDR2 is a perfect example of this, and I play that game still to this day. And the whole building your community from the ground up is definitely something I want to see continue, being able to go out there and recruit and have this big diverse community. There is, however, one thing I would like to see improve regarding this, and that's the way community members interact with each other. There's actually an idea about this on the wishlist page that's literally at the top with the most votes. I'll have it linked in the description. All I can say is go vote and get the numbers up on that. Even though we're not going to be seeing that in this game, the developers mentioned that this game was meant for you to create your own story and decide on who plays what roles, but nevertheless, I would love to see a more in-depth character relationship system in State of Decay 3. And coming in for the last question, I think a simple update will be able to have 3 AI to follow so we can have a full car for the people who don't play online. Yeah, man, I hear you. I see where you're coming from. There are a lot of folks out there that do play solo, but also enjoy having a follower tag along. I actually sent this over to one of the developers over on Twitter, and he said the reason for this is the same reason why you never have an entire community of 11 people present in the base at the same time. They limit the amount of active human AI in the scene to keep from going past what the hardware can handle. I've always assumed this was more of a gameplay decision by one of the devs because, you know, having that many people with 8-slot backpacks, that's a lot of portable storage, but turns out it's more of a hardware limitation. And with that being said, that's today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of my weekly discussions. Let me know below, what do you guys think about everything we talked about in today's video? And remember, I'm going to be covering a lot of games this year on my second channel. I'll have that linked in the description. Be sure to go over there, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And lastly, if you want to be featured in the next episode of weekly discussions, all you have to do is drop a comment with hashtag AskJ or AskJersey, and I'll try to squeeze you in. Be sure to drop a like, also subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. Comment section is open. Let's have a big discussion. Let me know your thoughts on everything, and I'll be seeing you guys real soon with some more State of Decay 2 content. Peace.